What a girl, what a world, what a light. Oh, I married Joan. What a mind, love is blind, what a wife.
Joan Davis with Jim Backus in
I married Joan.
Guess what, Joanie? My father called from Cleveland yesterday. He's decided to sell his business, and he talked about coming out to California to retire. So I thought it'd be kind of nice if you wrote my folks a letter asking them to stay with us for a while so they can look around for a house. I know it's a big favor, Joanie. Of course, I could write the letter, but it'd be much nicer if they got the invitation from their daughter-in-law. Besides, it's... Well, Joanie, you've always been fond of my parents, haven't you? So I thought if you wrote them a letter asking them to... You see, Dad is ready to retire. He wants to come to California. Well, Joanie, after all, they are my parents. I mean, after all, it's the least you can do is to consider them...
Honey, is something wrong?
Oh, no. This...
Oh, you were talking. Nobody's here. Is something on your mind, dear?
Well, now that you mention it, there is a favor I'd like to ask.
Well, what is it?
Joanie, I want you to remember, I love you.
Okay, now what is it you want me to forget?
No.
Come on, Bradley Stevens. What's the question?
Well, all right. When my father called long distance yesterday, he sort of hinted that he and Mother would like to come out here to California to retire. So, I was thinking, honey...
See, why don't I write them a letter and ask them to stay with us until they can find a house of their own?
What'd you say, honey?
I said, why don't I write them a letter and ask them to stay with us for a while?
Oh, honey, you are the sweetest. I tell you.
Gee, I should have said I was sending him a telegram. He'd have never gone to work. So, Brad and I just can't wait for you to arrive. Love, Joan. Hello? Oh, hello, Mabel. No, I'm sorry, dear. I can't go shopping with you now. Well, I just finished a letter to Brad's folks, and I got a little behind in my housework. No, I'm sorry, dear. I can't go shopping with you now. I'm sorry. No, dear, I don't care if there is a dress in the window that's size 10, light blue, and half price. I couldn't Size 10, light blue, half price? I'm coming right over, Mabel. We'll go together. Half blue, light price, size... Joan? Oh, sis? Joanie? Gee, I guess my sister isn't home, Tom.
Well, we can go for a drive some other time, Beverly. Goodbye.
Oh, no. I can leave a note for Joan. We can go.
Golly, you sure are anxious to go for a drive, Bev. You must be very interested in those twin carburetors I installed.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just wild about twin carburetors. Look, Joanie's written a letter to Mom and Dad. I guess she forgot to mail it.
Well, why don't we mail it for her? We'll be passing the post office.
Good idea. I'll address the envelope. Retire. Gee, my dad's going to retire, and he and Mother are coming out here to live. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be great having him here. And after all, Tom, one of these days you might like to have a talk with my father.
What for?
Well, there might be a question you'd like to ask him.
Gee, do you think he knows anything about twin carburetors?
That you, Bev?
Yeah, Joan. Get my note, sis?
Yeah, did you and Tom have a nice drive?
Yeah, it was real romantic. Tom took me over by the lake, parked beneath a beautiful oak tree, turned off the motor, got out and polished his car.
Well, there's one comforting thing about a boy like Tom. When he gets interested in a newer model, at least you'll know it's a car.
Oh, by the way, I mailed that letter for you, the one I found on your desk.
Oh, I forgot all about it, honey. Gee, thanks a lot. Set this one with you.
Yeah, I mailed it airmail special delivery. I figured you'd be anxious to have them get it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I Couldn't help reading what you wrote, Joanie, about Pop retiring. Won't it be great having Mom and Pop here in town?
It certainly will. Say, which Mom and Pop are you talking about?
Which Mom and Pop? Why, your Mom and Pop, my Mom and Pop. We're sisters, remember?
Beverly. Tell me that you didn't send it to him.
But I did.
No, tell me that you didn't.
But Joanie,
Please tell me you didn't.
Okay, I didn't.
Thank heavens.
But I did.
Don't say that. Beverly, you couldn't. You couldn't, honey. You see, that letter was for Brad's folks.
Brad's folks? Gee, and I thought I was doing you a favor.
Brad wanted me to invite his folks. Instead, I invite my own. Boy, am I in the doghouse.
Joanie, I'm home. Where are you?
I'm in the doghouse.
Hi, Bev. Where's Joan?
Oh, hello, lover.
Joanie, what's up?
Well, nothing yet, but your blood pressure will be. Honey, do you remember this morning when I said I'd write a letter to your folks and ask them to stay with us for a while?
Yes.
Well, I wrote that letter, Brad.
What happened was all my fault.
What's that?
Well, when I finished the letter, Mabel called.
So don't blame her. It was my fault.
Well, what happened?
Well, she said it was size 10, light blue, and half price, so I rushed along.
And when I came home, I found it, so don't blame her.
Blame her for what? What happened?
Don't blame her. It wasn't her fault.
It wasn't Joanie's fault either.
Okay, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. It was my fault. I assume responsibility for the whole thing. Now, what am I to blame for?
Well, the letter that I wrote to your folks, she sent to my folks.
You mean about retiring and coming here to stay?
Uh-huh.
That's very funny. I sent the wrong
I guess it is kind of funny at that.
Oh.
Sending the wrong letter to you.
Yes. Gotta tell my folks about this. They'll get a big kick out of this.
Joanie, suppose our Mom and Pop take the letter seriously and decide to come here.
No. Be silly. Your father has no idea of retiring.
But you don't know my dad.
No. Look, honey. When he gets the letter, he'll realize there's a mistake of some kind.
No, well, you see, he's never been out of Minnesota, and he might...
Believe me, honey, there's not a chance in the world of him taking that letter serious. Not a chance. Come on in, Jim. Oh, Joan. Joan, honey.
How are you, love?
Oh, hello, dear.
Hello.
This is Jim Fenwick, legal counsel for Amalgamated Aircraft Company. This is my wife, Joan.
How do you do?
I'm sorry to barge in on you like this, Mrs. Stevens, but I need your husband's signature on some papers.
Well, you go right ahead.
I mailed the wrong ones yesterday, so we had to stop at my office and pick up the right ones today. Wasn't that stupid?
Oh, I don't know. Lots of sensible people put the wrong papers in wrong envelopes.
My wife has had a little experience along that line. You want to hear something funny, Jim? You know, last week, Joan mailed a letter to my folks asking them to come here to stay with us. And by mistake, it was mailed to Joan's folks.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I'm still a little worried about that.
And Joan thinks her folks are going to take that letter seriously. Isn't that ridiculous? Well, in the first place, her folks have no desire to move to California.
Oh, hello there, Joanie.
Approach these things logically. You know what I mean?
Brad.
Because, excuse me, Jim. I'm telling Jim all about the, where was I? Oh, yes, I said, Joan, the odds are 100 to 1.
Brad.
Joan.
Honey, there's some people here I want you to meet.
Hello.
Bradley.
Hello, Mother. Hello, Dad. Oh, Jim, excuse me. Joan's folks are... Joan's folks? Oh, yes. Oh. Mother. Yes,
Yes, sir, Bradley, my son. I took your advice and I retired.
You mean you're not going to work anymore?
Oh, no, I got lots of work. Wait, I'll show you. Hello. You see here is my scale model, the city of Stockholm. That's all made out of matchsticks. See, over here will be the city of Uppsala. And over here...
Joan, what are we going to do?
Well, don't throw away any of your matchsticks, Brad. Maybe he'll build a factory and give himself a job. Meeting of the Stevens-Davis family has been called to discuss a very serious question. Now, the question before us is, what are we going to do about Dad?
May I have the floor, Joan?
Oh, by all means,
All
Brad.
right. Thank you. I think we're all pretty aware that this is an embarrassing situation, and there's only one thing to do, and that is face it. Tell your father the truth about the letter, and when he realizes that no one asked him to retire, he'll go out and get a job.
Well, that's a wonderful idea, Brad. When are you going to tell him?
Oh, no, not me. It's your family. It's got to be one of you three.
Well, I certainly won't tell him to get a job.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not going to be the one to break his heart.
Well, wait a minute. That leaves only me. Why should I be the one to tell him?
Well, you're his daughter.
His oldest daughter.
His favorite daughter.
But not his idiot daughter. Well, wait a minute. Maybe we won't even have to tell him about the letter.
How do you mean, Joanie?
Well, if we could talk him into taking a job here, then he could live in California and maybe buy a house of his own.
Your father work? Ha! In fact, ha, ha.
Pop thinks a job is like the measles. Once you've had it, you should never get it again.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Hello, Dad.
I just took a walk down to the unemployment office. I thought it might be nice if I introduced myself.
You're going to collect unemployment insurance here?
Why, naturally. I want to make every effort so I won't be a burden on you. Say, you should have seen them yump when I told them Judge Stevens was my son-in-law.
Oh, no. Well, if you'll excuse me, I have to get on the Amalgamated Aircraft case.
Amalgamated Aircraft. Oh, very good. Oh, good.
I've got some work to do.
Oh, go right ahead, my boy.
Well, I guess I'll go upstairs and work on my studies.
Work on your study. That's fine. That's fine.
I got washing to do.
Uh-huh.
I better get to work right now.
That's right, Ma. Busy hands keep idle fingers out of mischief. Hey, Joanie, how come you're sitting?
Oh, well,
I don't like to say it, but I'm afraid you have a lazy streak. I can't imagine who you inherited from.
Dad, I'd like to have a little talk with you.
Oh, go right ahead, Joanie. That's what a father is for, to listen to his children's troubles.
Well, Dad, you see, the family had sort of a meeting, and well, we all thought that you haven't, and, well, we think that you ought to come out of active retirement.
No, Joanie, it was a struggle for me to retire, but I'll stick to it. And besides, there's not much work in my profession.
Your profession? What profession?
Before you were born, I was a wick braider.
A wick braider?
Yeah, I used to braid wicks for kerosene lamps, and then that Edison put me out of business.
Dad, may I have part of the paper, please?
Oh, sure, what part?
The want ad section.
There you are.
Say, this sounds wonderful. Wanted, willing worker to engage in refined, dignified sales work. Must be able to ride bicycle and make change.
At the same time? Look, Joanie, if you want to look for a job, that's your business. But don't try to involve an innocent bystander.
No, Dad, I was trying to look for a job for you that maybe you'd like. Huh?
I only been retired for 2 days, and now you're trying to send me back to work.
No, I only thought that maybe you would...
But are you trying to say you begrudge me the little bit of food I eat?
Oh, no.
Or maybe the little bit of space I use up to sleep in?
Well, not at all.
Well, if you want me to pay my way, well, I'll go out and sell my brain to science. For future delivery, of course.
By the way, I haven't seen your father this morning. Which of you girls fixed breakfast?
Not me.
I haven't seen him either.
Oh, dear. He's never left the house without breakfast, no matter how upset he was.
That's right. Pop always said he never really woke up till he ate breakfast.
Well, I hope he's all right.
Oh, this is awful. Joan, call the hospitals. Call the police. Call the unemployment office.
Hello, operator. Give me the police. Maybe he got amnesia or something. May I have the Missing Persons Bureau? Missing Persons Bureau. I want to report a missing person. Who is it? My father. Description? Well, he's 5'8".
9.
5'9". Weighs about 146.
No breakfast.
145. No breakfast. What was he wearing? Well, he had on a blue suit and a polka dot tie and a... He's not missing. Look for somebody else. Dad.
Axel, you're back.
Dad, where were you?
Oh, Oh, Dad, forget what I said about last night.
No, Joanie, you were perfectly right. A man like me right in the prime of his life, he has no right to quit.
Pop, you got a job?
Well, let's say it's a position. Yes, sir. Down at the Amalgamated Aircraft, they made me such a good offer, I just couldn't refuse.
What kind of work you doing there, Pop?
Can't talk. They have government contracts, you know, secret.
Gee.
But I am very close to the president of the company. Oh, yes, very close. Oh, well, I just come home to get my glasses. Those government contracts have a lot of fine print. Well, Nellie? I see you later. Keep working.
Oh, I wonder how Pop got such an important job at Amalgamated Aircraft.
Your father's very clever.
Well, he has to be clever to keep from working this long.
Oh, Joanie, I won't have time for breakfast. I have a very busy day today.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. Guess what? Pop got a job.
Really? That's great.
And a very important job. He's very clever, you know.
Oh, yes, I know. Oh, Joanie, if Mr. Fenwick from Amalgamated Aircraft calls, tell him I'm on my way to court.
Of course, dear. Amalgamated Aircraft. Amalgamated Aircraft?
What's the matter, Joanie?
Well, that's the company that Dad just went to work for.
So what?
So what? Well, that explains why they gave Dad such an important job there.
Joanie, what are you talking about?
Well, Brad is the judge in a case that involves Amalgamated Aircraft.
What if he is?
Well, don't you see, Mother? If a relative of Brad has an important job there, well, the case would be thrown right out of court.
Maybe they don't even know your father and Brad are related.
Oh, Mother, you know how Dad lets everyone know his son-in-law is the judge. That's the only reason that they gave him such an important job there.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, I'm going to go down to the plant and get Dad out of there before Brad gets caught in a scandal.
Do you think you can get your father to quit the job?
Mother, I'll drag him out of there even if they've made Dad president by now. Dad.
You're making them wings too short. That plane will never get off of the ground. Oh, hello, Joanie. I was just keeping an eye on things. But these fellas, they keep making the wings too short.
Well, never mind that, Dad. You're coming home with me.
Oh, but how about my job?
No, you're quitting. You're going back into retirement, and I won't take no for an answer.
Okay, then I'll give you a yes. I quit.
Good.
But I proved I can hold a steady job. I've been here over 3 hours straight.
Wait, there's Brad.
Brad.
Brad, I don't want to see you. Quick, I don't want to catch you working here.
I don't care if he sees me working. It happens to everybody once in a while.
Now, this is our planning room, Judge Stevens, where we create our new models.
Well, Mr. DeMuth, I'm very impressed being shown around the plant by the president.
Oh, not at all. That gives me an opportunity to thank you for that work on those papers.
Well, nothing at all. Changing the name of a corporation is a routine matter.
All the new papers are in order now, Mr. DeMuth.
Good.
We've got to get out of here.
Yeah, but why?
Why? Because if you get caught, Brad's liable to get us in a lawsuit that they're trying to get thrown out of court. And if they know that you're Brad, Dad.
California weather, so changeable.
Dad, you're in a wind tunnel. Come on, we gotta get out of here.
Hold you.
Hurry. Come on, Dad. Get to the door. The door.
The wind comes, Joanie.
Say, this looks complicated.
Those are the plans for our new turbojet engines. In fact, right now we're working on the refinements that will dovetail with atomic planning.
No wonder it looks complicated.
Jiminy, Joanie. That plane was close.
If it was any closer, I would have been the co-pilot. Stop! Stop!
Was that another plane?
No, I think it was a duck.
Oh, and this is our wind tunnel, Judge Stevens, where we test our models to see how they react under stress and strain.
But it gets plenty breezy in there.
Oh, yes, winds over 500 miles an hour. Any imperfections in the model would disintegrate immediately. Oh, incidentally, we have a test scheduled right now on E-46. Would you like to watch it?
I certainly would.
Yeah. There goes my collar. Must have been an upgrade.
Just look right through there, Judge Stevens. Increase the wind velocity, Ed.
Calling the control tower. Calling the control tower. Help!
Joanie, please don't fire it, Joanie.
I'm trying to stay in formation, Pop, but I'm losing airspeed. I have to refuel.
You test people in there, too?
Certainly not, just the model plane.
Oh, look there.
Oh, no! This is awful! Ed, turn off that wind. Throw the switch.
Joan, Dad. Joan, are you all right?
Yeah, but I don't think my landing gear will ever be the same.
Gee, Joanie, I wish I'd have seen you and Pop in that wind tunnel.
Oh, it was awful. Now I know how that sparrow felt when he got caught in a badminton game.
Hello, honey.
Hello, dear.
Joan, look, we got a letter from my father.
Well, when's he going to retire?
Well, he's not. He couldn't stand the idea of being idle, so he's not giving up the business after all. He says a man should keep active and keep working.
Not our Pop. He's back in retirement.
Yeah, I wrote the right letter, but I retired the wrong father.
Where's Dad now?
He went down to the unemployment office to complain about his records not being here yet.
I'll write to the governor. No, the president. They can't do this to me.
Well, Pop, what's the matter?
I'm a citizen. I don't have to take this.
Axel, what happened?
Yeah, Pop, what's up?
Oh, those dumbbells down at the unemployment office.
Well, Dad, tell us.
Well, every year for the past 10 years up in St. Paul, I filled out my unemployment card. For my occupation, I put down wick braider for kerosene lamps. There was no call for wick braiders, so I was safe. And now along comes some nitwit, and he's going to make antique kerosene lamps, and I have to braid his wicks. I got a job.
What a world, what a life. Oh, I'm Mary and my love is blind, what a wife. Giddy and gay, all day she keeps my heart laughing.